we're so glad that you were able to join in with this little conversation that we're having, because we're just kind of catching up in the process. But it's been a while, and so being that this is June and being that June is Father's Day, a few of us just kind of wanted to talk about dads and the importance they play in our lives. And we all kind of have different scenarios, every one of us, and we know that all of you do too. So we just kind of want to talk a little bit about it. Maybe it's something that you can relate to, or maybe it's something we can help you out with just by tuning in for these next few minutes. And so Brittany's got a great dad.
Yeah.
I know your dad. Paul, I know you. I know where you live.
That's weird. That's weird. Yes, I do have a good dad. Moving on from that. I do have a good dad. We have a really good relationship. I think that I'm like trying to he and I have we have a lot of different areas of our relationship, a lot of different we're like buds. We have a really good we like all the same sports teams, so we can talk and relate and cheer together. So I think that's really one of my favorite things.
That is fun.
We have that whole thought of the whole daddy's girl. He's my boss in a way. He's a pastor, and so I serve on his team.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of different things, but yeah, we have a really good relationship, and I think that there's a lot of things about my dad that I admire, and there's a lot of things about my dad that he sets a really good example. That for me, one of the things was whenever I would have a serious boyfriend,
And she finally does.
Finally.
Hey, I haven't been in a relationship since 2007, so.
Hey, me neither, but now.
Right, finally!
So no, and your future spouse, what is she saying?
He's like, okay.
Okay. And your future spouse, I look for those things that my dad has he's set the bar high for.
Yeah.
And my dad loves my mom really well. And so it's I want somebody that loves me the way my dad loves my mom. And so that's something that I've looked for and I've strived for, and I have found that. My dad, he's just a really good guy.
Yes. And I know where you live.
Stop saying that. and so I'm so weirded out. No, I'm kidding. And so she helped us move in. Let me clarify. That's just really weird. But no, he's a good guy, and there's a lot to model. I always joke that he should hold a class for men in the world, because they could learn to think.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. I have two dads. I'm that girl. And, but I always haven't had the greatest relationship with both of them. It's like my biological dad actually didn't raise me. It was my stepfather, and who is really, I call him my dad.
Yeah.
But there was just some things there, and there was some unfaithfulness in the marriage to my mom, and so that kind of jacked me up.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in my 40s now, and I feel like I'm still dealing with a little bit of residue from all of that. You feel kind of a little bit rejected or not good enough, like, oh, our family wasn't good enough for you to be faithful. And I love my dads now, and that's all cleared up now, but I'm still having to deal with residue. I have had issues trusting men.
Yeah.
I remember going through and being your age and thinking, you know what, even if I were to marry, because I fall in love so easily, especially in my 20s, and my teens. Not in my 40s, that's the problem. And so I always felt like, well, it's going to end in divorce anyway, so why marry? Or if I ever wanted kids, I really thought I might even actually go to a sperm bank and just go to a donor, because I felt like it was going to end in divorce anyway.
Right.
And so that was just going to save me the heartache.
Yeah.
I'm going to raise this kid on my own by myself anyway. It's real interesting when you feel rejected and abandoned, and the role that plays even with you and your father. And I love the Lord, but even for me with that whole relationship with both of my dads, unfortunately, really in a season of my life played into how I related to the Lord.
Right.
And so it's been hard. I've had to work at it, and kind of take classes and face some things, and a lot of ugly, sobbing, snotty, bawling my eyes out. And then being a stepchild is a whole other issue, so that's another one. It's not today. But I know that both of your dads are both in your lives.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, my dad is awesome and has been an amazing role model growing up, and he has been, I have one brother, and just such an amazing example for him. But also because I've had such an amazing relationship with my dad, and my dad's not perfect, but I mean, no dad is perfect.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
I think my dad just has a huge heart for his kids, and he wants to see me flourish. He wants to see me grow, and that's the best thing. You know,
Yeah,
it's
I love
really,
that.
it's just comforting knowing like someone's out there or someone's like next to you who's like on your team.
Right.
And, like, I want to see you succeed.
Yeah.
So having that at home has been so amazing growing up, but also has enabled me to kind of be there for people who don't have that. And I have this one friend, like, I didn't realize it at first, but like she loved like driving in my dad's car, like with me, and like all those things. Like she just loved anything that kind of like involved like a father figure. So I put
Wow.
those pieces together eventually,
Yeah.
and just have been able to kind of talk with her through those things. And like you say, like it's ugly sometimes. Like even when your relationship with your dad is good, like
Yeah, even
things
once it's
can-
restored, it's still,
it's still a process, and that's good. It's okay.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't be afraid of like things getting ugly, because sometimes things just come to a head and you address it and you move on.
Yeah.
And you get to a place where things are going to be good.
Yeah, that's so important too, because I know there was a season, I think, where I felt like I was kind of like just kind of pushing it down and acting like it wasn't there.
Right.
But it was always there, it just wasn't dealt with.
Right.
You know, and even though things were restored, you know, my stepdad is an amazing dad, and he's no longer married to my mom, but he's still the one I call dad.
Yeah.
And my biological father too. But my stepdad, he'll do a lot of things for me.
Yeah.
Like my car or just issues, he'll, you know, if I'm moving, he's there and
Right.
things like that. And so, you know, I think as a woman now it's important for me to keep, you know, just to keep nurturing
Yeah.
and just working through my own personal issues. But that's good. It does get ugly, and better to face it instead of avoid it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, with my dad, I have a great relationship with my dad. We kind of have like similar personalities, so we like laugh at the same things, and we like to
She laughed
I
at
don't
the
know.
same
Yeah,
time.
yeah, we do. But we also love we have like I think it's just like us two who has the same personalities like out of all of my family and all of my siblings. So we like bonding that way and everything. But I know, like Cindy said, even though I have a great relationship with my dad, sometimes the way you relate to your father is kind of the way that you also relate to God, because he is our father. And so, although I have like a great relationship with my parents and everything, I also have 5 siblings. So a lot of the time, we felt like we had to kind of compete with each other for our parents'
Interesting.
attention and for their love and everything. Like obviously, they love us and they want to give us that attention and that time and everything. But there's so many of us, and they are such busy people that
Wow.
like a lot of the time I felt like I had to compete with that. So that kind of also played into my relationship, how I related to the Lord for a really long time. I felt like I had to go out and do these things to earn His love or to earn His attention, kind of. And once I realized that, like, even though my father is great, and even though like God placed him in my life and everything, he's not perfect. And
That's good.
yeah, and so I realized that the Lord is perfect. He is pure. He has all the time in the world. He is basically obsessed with you, and He wants to be with you every second of the day. You don't have to earn His love, and you don't have to like compete with other
for it.
people. You don't have to compete with your friends for it. He is just like, He's the perfect father. He's a good father, and He loves you so much. So that is something that I have learned when it comes to fathers and when it comes to our Father God.
Yeah.
So good.
That's very good. And so, I mean, you might be in that predicament where you feel like you've been neglected or abandoned, and maybe you don't even have a relationship with, you know, the Lord. And so, you know, when you're done watching this, or even right now, feel free just to say, you know, if you're real, I want, you know, I'm hurting in my life, and I kind of I'm resonating with what the girls were talking about, with what fashion was talking about. And so if you are real, you know, let me just take this step of faith and just see what happens, you know, and we'll be rooting for you in your corner, and, you know, always work at those things and don't run from them. But we love you. We know this is a different topic. You know, we usually do the beauty makeovers, and those are fun, but you know, it's important to talk about real things too, because life can sometimes be ugly, you know, and when you've overcome things and you've had victory in some of those areas, we just think it's important to share with you too. So we want you to have victory, and we just believe in you, and we know that you are fashioned for greatness, for good things, and we're here for you. If you feel like something's resonated, feel free to email us at fashionedmagazine@gmail.com, and follow us, you know, on Instagram and Twitter, Facebook, all those good things. And until next time, take care. Bye. Love you. Is it recording?
Yes.
What'd you do?
Hit the plus button.
He's like, I
I don't know how to use my phone. Oh gosh. Okay. So anyway, but you sang the Star Spangled Banner, didn't you?
No, take me out to the ball game.
What is so funny? Close enough. Yeah, I want to hear about it. Tell us about it.
So my church is having this volunteer appreciation, and they bought like 1,000 tickets.
Oh.
So they gave us like certain perks. Like one of my intern friends like got to do like the field maintenance and stuff, and like was down the field. And it was super
at the
awesome.
Angel Stadium.
Mhm.
That's
yeah,
fun.
and Thursday night's game, and then me and like a few other people got to go like out on the first baseline, I think it was, and then like sing for the 7th inning stretch, taking out to the ball
I
game.
love that song.
Throw pistachios. We had to pretend like they were, you know, Cracker Jacks. They were actually Cracker Jacks, so we threw pistachios at the crowd.
That's cute.
That was
They
really
should have
fun.
went to the 99.
I don't think they really cared what they got, just as long
It's
as they
so
got
lots of the Cracker Jacks.